If you are on Social Security right now, you are probably bringing in somewhere between $1,700 and $1,900 a month. And if you are paying rent, even just $1,200 a month, that means over the next 10 years, you will hand over $144,000 to a landlord. That number is not a typo. $144,000 for a place you will never own. So when Amazon started listing prefab home kits for $3,800, kits that people are calling ready-to-build houses, it got attention fast. Retired people are sharing it on Facebook, kids are sending it to their parents, and some seniors are already asking if they can order one and be done with renting forever. In this video, we're going to do three things. First, we are going to show you exactly what you get for $3,800 and what that number leaves out. Second, we are going to walk through every hidden cost that turns a bargain into a burden. And third, we are going to tell you clearly who this might actually work for and who should walk away today. Before we go any further, I need to say this plainly. Amazon is not selling you a house. Amazon is selling you a kit. There is a significant difference, and we will explain exactly what that means. We are not here to promote Amazon's product. We are here to protect your retirement savings and your independence, because one wrong decision at 67 is very hard to undo. Problem block. Why prefab kits are not what they appear. The kit versus the house problem. Here's the first thing most people miss. When you buy a $3,800 Amazon prefab kit, you are buying materials, panels, fasteners, a frame. You are not buying a completed structure. You are not buying something you can move into. Think of it like buying a box of Lego pieces and calling it a house. The pieces are real, but the house doesn't exist yet, and building it, legally, costs far more than the box. One commenter put it this way: I almost ordered one until my nephew asked where I was going to put it. I hadn't even thought about that. That's the trap. The low number gets attention. The real costs stay hidden until you're already emotionally committed. Foundation and site preparation costs. Even the most basic prefab structure needs to sit on something. Depending on your location and local codes, site prep and foundation work can run between $4,000 and $18,000. In states like Texas and Florida, where soil is sandy or expansive clay, you may need a full concrete slab. That alone can cost $6 to $10 per square foot. For a modest 400 square foot structure, you're looking at $2,400 to $4,000 just for the concrete, before you have put up a single wall panel from the kit you paid $3,800 for. Most sections of the country also require a soil test before permitting. That's another $300 to $900 depending on your county. Nobody mentions that in the listing. Permitting and inspection fees. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. In most U.S. counties, you cannot legally build even a small structure without a permit. Permit fees for accessory dwelling units and small residential structures range from $500 to $3,500, depending on state and county. California can push that number to $5,000 or higher in certain jurisdictions. And the permit isn't a one-time fee. In many areas, you'll pay for multiple inspections: foundation, framing, electrical, plumbing, each triggering a separate fee between $75 and $200. One viewer from Arizona told us, the kit cost $3,800. By the time I got through permitting, I'd spent another $2,600 and I hadn't built a single thing. That's not unusual. That's the norm. Labor costs when you cannot build it yourself. The Amazon listings make assembly look straightforward, and for a healthy 40-year-old with construction experience, maybe it is. But most seniors on Social Security are not in a position to spend 3 weekends on a ladder in the sun installing wall panels. Hiring a general contractor to assemble a small prefab structure typically runs $50 to $120 per hour, depending on your region. A complete build from foundation to finished walls, including your labor coordination, often totals between $8,000 and $22,000 for a unit in the 300 to 500 square foot range. Add that to the kit price, add the permits, add the foundation. You are now at $16,000 to $30,000 before the first night's sleep inside. Most prefab kits don't fail structurally, they fail financially before you ever move in. Problem block. Do you actually own where you live? The land question nobody is asking. Let's say you've handled the build, you've got the kit assembled, the permits signed off, and the structure is sitting there. Now, where is it sitting? If you own land free and clear in a favorable zoning area, that's a strong position. But if you are planning to place this structure on leased land, a lot in an RV park, a plot in a rural community, or a corner of someone else's property, you do not have stability. You have a conditional arrangement. Lease agreements for small residential sites run between $399 and $650 per month in most states. That's $3,600 to $7,800 a year in lot fees for a structure you paid $3,800 for. When the landowner sells, you're 69, life feels manageable. You have your space, your routine, your independence. Then a letter arrives. The landowner has sold the property to a developer. You have 6 months to vacate. Moving a small prefab structure is not like moving an apartment. You need a crane or flatbed truck. Transport costs run $3,000 to $8,000 depending on distance. You need a new permitted site, which means starting the approval process over. New utility hookups, new foundation prep, another $5,000 to $15,000 minimum. Some seniors end up back in assisted living arrangements they spent years trying to escape, not because the structure failed, because the ground beneath it was never truly theirs. Zoning changes and local policy shifts. Even if you own the land, zoning rules can change around you. Counties across the U.S. have reclassified accessory dwelling units and small residential structures multiple times in the past decade. In some cases, structures that were permitted become non-conforming overnight. Appealing a zoning decision costs money, it takes time, it requires you to navigate a bureaucratic process that assumes you have the energy, the documentation, and the legal literacy to fight back. At 73, with a $1,900 monthly income, that fight is genuinely hard. You thought you were buying independence. What you actually bought was a fragile version of renting with more steps.
What Amazon's listing actually gets right. The cost floor is real. Here is what is genuinely true. The $3,800 entry point for a basic prefab kit is lower than almost any alternative for small residential construction. Traditional stick-built construction runs $100 to $200 per square foot in most of the country. For a 400 square foot space, that's $40,000 to $80,000. A factory-built kit using standardized panels compresses that cost dramatically. The materials are real, the structure is real, and for certain use cases, a guest cabin on land you already own, a studio workspace, a supplemental structure, the economics are genuinely different. Energy efficiency in modern kit designs. Several of the higher-end kits in the $6,000 to $12,000 range now include insulated structural panels with R values between 20 and 30. That's stronger insulation than most traditionally built homes in the U.S., which average R13 to R15 in walls. For a senior on a fixed income, reduced utility bills matter. A well-insulated 400 square foot structure can run on $40 to $60 per month in electricity in moderate climates. Over 10 years, that's a $10,000 to $15,000 difference compared to a poorly insulated apartment or older mobile home. Standardized design reduces surprise repair costs. Because these kits use repeatable modular components, repairs are more predictable. A wall panel gets damaged, you order a replacement panel. The dimensions are standardized. You're not hiring a contractor to custom build a replacement piece. That predictability matters enormously on a fixed income.
You can plan for a known cost. You cannot plan for chaos. The kit itself isn't the problem. What surrounds the kit, land, permits, labor, regulations, that's where the risk lives.